you some context. The reason I ask this is because you have Jeremiah Kioni saying Raila Odinga relied on civil servants.
Exactly.
And then you have his own chief agent saying if he told Raila Odinga this is light and Junet Mohammed came and told him this is darkness, he will agree with Junet Mohammed. Actually, Saitabao Olekanchori said Junet Mohammed was essentially a principal. And when he raised the issues of ODM collapsing its structures, he was told by Junet to, these structures have not worked for us the last 4 runs for the presidency, so let us try another. I mean, if you keep failing with one thing, let us try something else. So do you think Raila Odinga is in denial that actually they let themselves down?
Let me put it this way. I have vied in Kiambaa and I lost. And at one point I met someone and I was really bitter. Of course you get bitter. And I was telling them this one has been stolen. That was on a one-on-one. So you asked me, what were you doing when they were stealing from you? Can you imagine government saying it was stolen from them? The reason as to why the law is very clear that the provincial administration and civil servants are not supposed to participate in elections is simply that the government is going to take advantage of that. So you are telling us someone else who is not inside government is taking advantage of the using the, you not, and ensuring you don't utilize the so-called provincial administration? I don't think so. I think, to me, Olive, last night, and that's why my eyes are bloodshot, I was watching football up very late in the night. And a good team lost to a better team. Did Raila lose or did Ruto win? And I think that's a question that we need to ask ourselves. I think Ruto won. Ruto came up with something different. Wakili has enumerated how Raila has come, from where he started, the Pentagon, then he came up with the coalition for, I don't know, the other one, COD, then there was NASA wale wengine, then ultimately he had this. Bottom line, all that, is significant in there is about gatekeepers. You pick a few people that are from these big tribes that ostensibly are going to give you very many votes, put them together in an arrangement, promise this one publicly that he's going to be the cabinet minister for this one, so that the assumption is going to be his people are going to follow him, and then by extension land on your doorstep. And then why you don't do a full cabinet list then in the first instance is still strange. But basically there are people that you're enticing. On the other hand, Ruto came up with something unique that cuts across, because he realized I cannot do tribal arithmetics. They're not going to work for me. I don't have that control. He came up with the so-called hustler. And hustler cuts across. There is no definition of who a hustler is. And if you want to know, look at the people who have borrowed the money that has been put out there. I am sure if you have a list of those people, you'll be shocked that most of your colleagues that are not hustling have borrowed that money. So it cuts across. And he created that. He came up with that thing. A Kisi will feel like I'm a hustler. A Masai, it has nothing to do with tribe. And then he gave them a solution in the so-called bottoms up. He said, I have a solution to your problems. And do you know who is causing these problems in the first instance? It is these guys who are coalescing around Raila Odinga as Azimio. And whether you want to call them dynasties or you want to call them what, they have been there for too long, and that's why we have these problems in the first instance. The solution was there. Implementation of the solution was not along the period of the campaign. So people gave time. They are going to wait until you get to power, and then you implement that. So I think if you look at now how people are feeling, it is telling. But bottom line, he came up with something different that took away the uniqueness of Raila's style of campaign, and he had a solution that he said, wait, and do you know, nobody could explain what bottoms up was all about and how it will ultimately solve. Even the senior most individuals, not even himself. Even the senior most individuals in Kenya Kwanza struggled to explain how this solution is going to work. And do you know what? Those are the things Kenyans want, things that they don't understand that well, but they know there's a solution out there somewhere. All you need to do is put this guy in power, and we are okay, we are going to do fine. That pushed this campaign through and through, and that's why even in Mount Kenya region, it is not the people that he picked from there that won elections. If you want to know Raila lost, look at even the guys in Mount Kenya region and the other regions that were vying on Azimio-related political parties, they lost. So if they were losing, then it means the same goes for the person you're looking at the top. The other issue was, If you saw how Uhuru won, Uhuru didn't just sit back and the movements called Dhuraku Dhuraku Kumira Kumira. My friend, the mobilization around ensuring Uhuru won in Mount Kenya region where he's strong was huge. The assumption being anybody who's going to vote in Mount Kenya region is likely to go and vote for Uhuru.
This is in 2017.
Yes, exactly. I don't think I saw that in Nyanza where Raila is strong, because there was no serious organized mobilization. Everyone was in Nairobi or this manner or the other manner of Mombasa or wherever it is. If they had done serious mobilization where they know for sure 99.9% of the people who turn out are going to vote for Raila, I think the story would be different. So I think we need to flip this and ask ourselves, is it him who lost, or is it Ruto who came up with a better strategy and won?